Think of the word everything. Everything. From not grasping, both grasping and not grasping will be everything that is beyond everything. So it will be beyond even the beyond. From not grasping, both grasping and not grasping, we'll be able to be beyond the beyond with everything. So the lotus bloom out of the blooming altogether. Let go of both let go and not let go. Not grasping, both grasping and not grasping. Together. Lotus in bloom, let go of the blooming altogether. Everything that is beyond everything that is. If you still focus, still be with everything, you have to make conclusion right after everything. So it won't be about identifying with everything, carrying everything. So everything has to be not grasping, both grasping and not grasping. Let go of both let go and not let go. Cut both cut and not cut. Everything. That is everything that is beyond everything. That way it will dissolve both personal and public matter. It will extinguish and empty out, release, relax both personal and public. Both personal and public is not too focused on only personal matter or public matter. It's not about identifying with either personal matters or public matter. If you still focus, still identify, it will be a samsara. Be the essence of enlightenment. Make conclusion. It's up to you if you can enlighten or not enlighten. You don't want to cut, don't want to get enlightened. Just keep on knowing about this, that. The more you know, the more you're not enlightened, the more delusion you are with the knowing. But if you want to enlighten, cut. Don't worry about knowing, not knowing, seeing, not sewing, understand, not understand. Everything cut. Cut both cut and not cut. Together, everything. That is the essence of enlightenment. Up to you to enlighten or not enlighten. If you don't want to enlighten, linger on knowing this, that, and not cut. If you don't might, it won't cut. Might doesn't mean to might with the might, but might both might and not might. To cut both cut and not cut together with everything. And that when everything will be beyond everything automatically. Not to identify with everything when you recite everything. Have to listen carefully. You might, both might and not might. That is everything. That isn't about identifying with everything. That is everything that is beyond everything. From not grasping, both grasping and not grasping, altogether with everything. That is with everything become dissolution without a trace, altogether, throughout. Enlighten and enlighten for everything simultaneously. Cut and cutting for everything simultaneously. That is to benefit both self and others simultaneously. To benefit both self and everything. Enlighten and enlighten for everything simultaneously. Cut and cutting for everything simultaneously. Mind everything. If you don't mind, it won't cut. It isn't about to cultivate body, mind, senses, perceptions. To cultivate, to practice, it is beginning It is suffering in itself. It is desire in itself. In that cultivation, it is a cause of suffering in itself, the cultivation. So cut directly. Might, both might and not might. That is a direct cut. Cut, both cut and not cut. It isn't about to cultivate anything, trying to cultivate anything. How can you cut when you cultivate? The cultivation is a beginning. Just might, both might and not might. Everything. Not about one or two things, but everything. Think of this great thought, great compassion thought. Everything. Might, everything. So it cut all together everything. Don't worry about trying to gain mindfulness, meditation, wisdom. You are greedy. You are greedy, trying to gain, to grasp. Worry about having, not having wisdom. That's worried, that's concern. You are greedy, you are selfish, and not cut. The Buddha tell us to cut, but you want to gain, to grasp. That's why you are trapped for a long time. Not grasping, both grasping and not grasping together with everything. Do it well, and it will be a lotus in bloom that let go of the blooming all together throughout. And that is when it is benefit for the samsara, fruitful for the samsara. If a lotus bloom out but not letting go of the bloom out, there is no fruit to be benefit until it let go of that blooming state, until it let go of the letting go, until it let go, both let go and not let go. And that is when it becomes the extinction, the emptiness, release, relax for the samsara. That is what benefit the samsara. When you might, don't stay with might. Might, both might and not might. It will dissolve both might and not might. Might dissolve the might itself. Not grasping, don't stay with not grasping. Not grasping both, grasping and not grasping. And it won't be about either left or right, grasping or not grasping. If you're not grasping, dissolve both sides, both grasping and not grasping. If you cut both cut and not cut. So it won't be about either cut or not cut. And it will be balanced. If you cut both cut and not cut. Might, both might and not might. If you only do the might, the cut, it will stay only on one side, and that is imbalance. If you're not grasping, both grasping and not grasping, it will dissolve both sides of grasping and not grasping. That is when it dissolves empty, nibbana, that dissolves the samsara throughout. Balance. If you might, both might and not might, don't stay with might or fixate on only might. That is still about choosing one side. If you're not grasping both, grasping and not grasping, that way it dissolves both grasping and not grasping. If you're not attached, both attached and not attached. Don't fixate on either attached or not attached. That is still about taking a side of attached and not attached. Nibbana or samsara. Nibbana has no sides. Only what you imagine. That is nibbana. You are full by desire to think that that side, that is Nibbana, going from samsara to Nibbana. Those are kind of the language that creates desire. Nibbana has no sides. Nibbana doesn't have even the not having itself. Not having, either having or not having. Together with every particle in this world, the samsara, not grasping both grasping and not grasping, together with every particle. Every particle will be attached to anything, together with everything in this world and the samsara, not grasping both grasping and not grasping, to everything, every particle. So every particle won't attach to anything in the world, in this samsara. Any element won't be attached to any element. Not grasping won't be attached to the not grasping, won't attach to either grasping and not grasping. So together with everything, enlightened, for everything all together, release, relax, all together, everything. Don't only have knowing, seeing. Not grasping both grasping and not grasping, together with narrow and wide, dissolve both narrow and wide, not having anything to do with either narrow and wide, not grasping both grasping and not grasping, together with everything. That is when it is beyond both narrow and wide. Release and relax, together with everything. It's because it might, both might and not might, that when you know how to cut. It's to cut, both cut and not cut. And everything.